G'day, I'm Stephen Spry, and welcome back to summer in Australia. Oh my God, the last 4 days. 35 degrees, my air conditioning. Uh, yeah, well, that worked for a while, and then I had to have the air conditioner on because it was ridiculous, and that's why I haven't been able to do any videos, because it's been too noisy. But today, we're back over at Steam, so I'll get rid of that. Whew! And I wanted to spend a little time on updating you on progress with my maps, and of important progress is this one, Tweed River Coast. Yep, just done this one. Got it all ready for Van Ham Gaming to do a series with. Special request from him. So this is now available on Steam. It's about the area that's sort of up on the border between Queensland and New South Wales, Coolangatta and all the southern Tweed region along the river and along the coastline and so on. Should be fun. I'm going to have a little closer look at that right now. So here we are, back at Transport Fever 2 main menu for, if you didn't realise, my Real World Maps for You series. Right. If you do subscribe to any map on Steam, then how do you load them? Common question. Go to free game. Hit play map in the top right hand corner, and you'll see all of the maps that you've subscribed to. And let's go Tweed River Coast Vanilla. Right. I don't want any of this, so I am going to... Right, before we do, it's a large 1-to-1 ratio map. It starts in 1890, which means you've got 5 million to play with. Right, okay. Basic settings, 6 cargo types. I always turn both of those off. And as far as mods go, it's vanilla. I don't want any. Right. Advanced settings, temperate all English, temperate hard, and standard. Right, good stuff. All right, so let's have a look at this map a bit closer and enjoy it when Van Ham Gaming starts to play it real soon now. So here we go, there's Tweed River Coast. So let's just orientate it north to south. Coolangatta and Tweed Heads are up the top, and this is typical of the sort of thing that I produce for you people, in that I make it semi-hysterical. I.e., that bridge over the river there didn't go through until 1936. Hopefully this will add to your gameplay, in that you won't build it until 1936. Did I say 86? Whatever. There was another 1936 bridge down here across the river at Barney's Point. Right, 1936. The modern freeway, well, this part of it from the bridge under the hill here at Benora Point, 2012, right? This part of the freeway from here up, all the way 1992, up until here, 1992, that was built. This bit here, 1985, up to the big intersection that's here. 1985, 2008 for the M1 motorway under the airport. Right. Okay, speaking of airports, it went in as a dirt runway in 1936, started taking passengers in 1939, it was paved in 1958, and the modern airport was established in 1980. So, one more set of dates, 2 more sets of dates, sorry. Back down the bottom of the map first. Right. This bridge over the river, 1986. Ooh, right. Okay. A lot of trouble getting around then prior to that. Yeah, well, everything went by riverboat and punt. Right. And this motorway coming south, the Cudgeon Tunnel. Lovely. Alright, down to these industries, which we can pretend are down in Newcastle or Sydney or beyond, because all of these do is they've been set to output plastics, output fuel, output steel, and output refined oil. So all of this would be road traffic up this motorway, but after 2002. Right, should be fun. Alright, back up to the top of the map. One more hysterical piece of information to show you somewhere up here. Oh my god. Yes, at the moment, right now, this area is not served by rail, but it was served by rail. It was served by rail from Brisbane down to Coolangatta from 1903 to 1961. So I've got a little bit of a setup here where you've got a yard that you can build here, maybe a turning loop or something, and then just follow along down the coast. Right, yeah, okay, down the coast to Tugun, yes, Balinga, Holt, and these were just little halts, right, into Kirra, right, somewhere there's the station for Kirra, over a bridge, yes, and through this rather steep cutting, right, into Coolangatta, which is at the moment, that bit there is a gigantic car park, but that was where the railway station was, and it turned around and it came into, there's the border running straight up the middle of this street here, it came into Tweed Head Station, right, and then did a Y turnaround thingy dingy there to head back up north to Brizzy. Now, you could do something with this that no government in New South Wales has ever been able to achieve, and that is to extend the railway line south from Tweed Heads, right, and down through here, somewhere, wherever you like, probably best to stay this side of Benora Point, and then maybe follow along the river, sort of, and come down, through here somewhere. This is all flooding, remember, this gets flooded far too often, but, you know, you could bring the railway line down to Tumblegum, beautiful downtown Tumbalgum, actually, but I love Tumblegum. Yes, why not? Let's mash up the name. This village, by the way, very, 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 very busy in the late 1800s. Hugely busy, big hive of water activity because, you know, we've got to get stuff upriver, all the way up the Tweed River, all the way up the Tweed River. Lovely, 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 lovely. Okay, what else? Right, oh, hello, there we go. What's hiding up here? Right, well, I've changed a couple of things on this map. There are no coal mines or iron ore mines because the steel is all designed to simply be output, right? And this would have come up, if it in fact even got here, but it probably came up by boat somehow from either Brisbane up that way or Newcastle, Sydney down that way. So that's why. And if you look, there's nowhere really to put coal and iron ore mines. I mean, you could, if you have sandbox on, you could upset all the people around Terranora in this valley. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, the greenies up here would love you doing that. Not. But Bilambil, I can see coal mines and iron ore mines going in here somewhere if you really want to do that and transport them by water. Look, 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 look. All of the waterways. That one's navigable all the way up to Bilambil, I think. Yeah, that's where it stops. You could probably rebuild that bridge if you wanted to. But this one's navigable all the way up to the end. In fact, all over. You can see you've got navigable waterways absolutely everywhere because I reckon this area was once really big on riverboats and stuff like that. I don't know. I have no idea really of the history. I did live here, somewhere around here, for a few years, so I quite enjoyed it. In fact, I actually used to walk from Balinga along the beach into Coolangatta, and I even went over here once to do some shopping at Coles and walked back carrying milk in bags. That was a huge mistake, but never mind. Speaking of huge mistakes, this wasn't one. Opening 1996, pages 1939, paid in 1958, and in 1980. So there's some hysterical dates. 2008 for the M1. Did I mention that going through here? Yes. All right. I love putting these things on my maps so that you've got some sort of hysterical guideline to how you could play the game. Meanwhile, back to the import island. Sorry, I'm hopping all over the place. I'm excited with this map, and I'm waiting to see what Van Ham Gaming does with it. All right, oil. Right, we have oil processing. Right. So it wants crude oil, makes the refined oil. You can send half of that back over to the plastics places. There are a couple. Fuel refineries, chemicals. There are a couple of chemical. There are 3 chemical plants. Good, and you can send the other half over to the offshore fuel refinery, so that you got a nice backload. Put your teeth in and think about what you're saying, mate. For all of these boats that are shipping this crude oil. Now, this, by the way, doesn't exist in real life. Yeah, nah. All of this is sugarcane fields. So we could technically call it biofuel, maybe. But I think for game purposes, this looks very oil refinery type land. Yes. You wouldn't do much agriculture-wise with any of this area here, would you? No. So that's why we've got oil wells here. Huge veggie growing potatoes area down here near Coogin. Right. Tropical fruit world, we can't call it that because trademarks. So this is banana world. Lovely tourist destination. Right. Okay. A little town over here, Kingscliff, will hopefully grow into these streets that I've already got mapped out. Chindera, lovely. Benora Point. Until the town grows into this area, we've got a forest on the hill here, and you can pretend that all of these roads through here are for the forest people to secure timber. Sounds good to me. Yep. Right. What's this called? Troots Bay. Isn't really a town. That's the name of this bay. But for game purposes, we've added a little village. What size village is here? Overview. 50. So that's a tiny. Yeah, that's a tiny. Right. There's not much in the way of civilization out this way other than a couple of villages, Cobbacai, Balamble. Right. Most of it, as you can see, is timber. Right. Terranora, it probably didn't exist in 1890 as far as a village is concerned. It's more a modern village. But what the heck? We've got to do something. Yeah, so there we go. Lots of stuff. All of the industries are balanced, with the exception of the coal and steel, coal and iron ore, which is why these guys were configured. If you want to change this, engage Sandbox, and you can reconfigure these, and then you can plant your coal and iron ore stuff out here somewhere and disrupt the local population tremendously. This lot, yeah, imports 2002. Once you connect the motorway here, and you've got to connect it, you build a. If you go check Google Maps, and you'll see there's a nice little interchange here for all of this. Right. So, real world map, sort of. Yeah, real world industry, maybe not, but spread out in basically where we expect to find industry in Tweed Heads South. Not so much sure about over here, Tweed Heads West, but whatever. Good fun. Good fun. I even went to the trouble, even though I hate the damn things, of putting, go away, of putting all the Norfolk pines that are very, very, very local to Kira. Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's the only spot on the map you'll find the damn things. This headland. Coolangatta Beach. Yeah. Spent a lot of time at the surf club here and at the surf club over... Oh, God, it's been so long. It's been 10 years ago, mate, since you've been up this way. Wow, has it really? All right, speaking of shipping and importing and harbours, this is not really a harbour as such in modern day, unless you regard the pedal boats, the little ones that you pedal around in with kids and so on. But you could quite easily turn that area into a harbour. This little inlet I've cleaned up to make it look more like a harbour. And another harbour area was this one down here. I thought this was very, very interesting. You can do all sorts of things down this way if you want to. So there we go. We have used the basis of the real world location: Coolangatta, Tweed Heads, Tweed Waterways, Tweed River, Tweed Coast, and I think you're going to have fun playing this map. All the sugarcane farms everywhere here. Okay, there. That's what all this stuff. I mean, it's actually corn painted, but hello, this is sugarcane, right? Because that looks like sugarcane, even close up. Now, let's see if I can find something here. Right, I can see these. See that thing right there? Every industry, even though it's a vanilla map, this is a feature of the CB Assets Era A mod, which allows me to place, where can I find an example? Come on, Stephen, where can you find it? I don't know, they're everywhere. Yeah, and that's why you're never going to be able to find one. I know. Here we go. That particular mod, when I'm in the map editor, allows me to place these buildings, or any buildings like this, residential, commercial, industrial, out the middle of nowhere, and assign a number of people to be living and or working here, right? Now, as far as industry is concerned, let's go back to this farm, right? If I don't actually place a building with that mod, I can place one of those things. And I've sort of hidden them. But they actually have fingers that connect to roads, and I've assigned workers to every single industry. So, yes, if you wanted to, just to be different, I know the game doesn't allow you to do it in vanilla. The new game, Transport Fever 3, is actually going to feature workers at industry. So let's get the jump on that. We have got workers coming into all of these industries somewhere. There, see? Through those little things. Right. Through that little post there. That's the forest. Yeah, okay. Right. Eventually, if we look at the destinations, initially you only see the towns showing up here, but once you start playing, all of these industries that have that, where is it? It's there, see? Right. All of these industries where workers start coming to will start to show here. Initially, they'll start as being called no name. Let's just run it for a little bit. We'll just run it flat out for a little bit, and we'll see what happens. So maybe Tweed heads south. That's probably within walking distance, is it? Alright, let's have a little look. We will see a lot of people starting to come to work at, here we go, no name. Right, which one's this? That's that fella there, which is no name. We can change that to so as they start appearing on the list of destinations, we change it from no name to whatever that is. And we've now got one person working there. Yay, team. Right, good stuff. All right. And all of these will eventually appear on the town lists as time goes by, which is good fun. Maybe not so much here. It's a bit far away, is it? Yeah, nothing there. Maybe someone from Trute's Bay is going to work in either of these places. Work. There's another one. Okay. That's Trute's Bay Farm. So let's go there and change the name. Trute's Bay Farm. Unfortunately, there isn't an ability that I can do while map making to change the name of that pointer. Right. Where is it? Right there. Okay, it's a bit modern for 1890, but you can't really see it, so it'll give you the opportunity, if you wanted to whack a bus from, let's say, Benora Point out along through here, drop people off at work here, and then come down, drop them off at work here, and come into Trute's Bay, and then back. Okay, so that's why you've got them there. Yeah, hopefully it'll work. Oh, here's another one. This is Benora Point Food Processing. And there we go. So eventually, it's just giving you an opportunity to run some buses and get some extra traffic. Maybe. Should work. Just to add another element. So we've got the hysterical element of trying to run this map prior to the bridges, just using rivers. So that's going to split this one into one zone down here, another zone sort of up to Barney's Point there, right? And then if you wanted to go by road into Tweed Heads, you'd have to go, wow, you'd have to go around the world through Ballamble and then back in. Yeah. So it does present some complications for those of you who want to go from there to there, unless there was a punt. I wish there was a punt in this game. A ferry, a passenger ferry that just, or a road ferry that just went like that. It'd be so nice. I don't mean running a bloody a boat. I mean a punt. You put your horse and cart on it as well as people and go from there to there. Come on, modders, let's do that, hey? Just to be different. Yeah, okie dokie. Right, there we go. Tweed River Coast. Now available on Steam, also on Mod.io, and hopefully will be available for console people shortly, depending on how long it takes Urban Games to tick the approval button. 100% vanilla map, ready for you to get lost in. Right, that's update number 1 for this episode. Update number 2, I'm going to have a look at my where are we? Over here, over to main menu. I'm going to have a look at the progress, or lack of it. I'm sorry, it's taking a while. New Conway, right, okay. I did have a problem with the USA textures on the other one. And I keep having this problem. I keep forgetting that you can't use those if you want to make vanilla. So, finally got it. But anyway, let's have a little look at the progress on this one. And for those of you that are interested, these are the mods that I'm using at the moment to make the map. When I hit the convert to vanilla and turn all of these off and resave it, none of them matter. But that USA textures one did, worse luck. Alright, okay, so let's load this fella up and have a little look at what isn't happening over here. And I've got good reasons. I've got very good reasons, and you'll see them shortly. So here we are back on the Conway Beaver Falls map, and 82.9 hours. Still going. This is a mammoth effort. I'm loving it. I'm loving the detail that's going into this. And firstly, ooh, goodbye. Oh, wait. While you're here, check on trees, please. 796,000. Whoa, still under 8. Yes, and I've added a lot more just with some stuff around the edges and through here, stuff like that. But let's go in to have a look at the industry here, please, because what I've done, where is it? There it is. There's one. There's two. What are they? They're those sort of people magnet-y type things. Right, how's that work again? Okay, assets. If you've got access to this asset, CB era A, right? I'm going to take industry collision on. I'm going to tell it that I want, let's say, here, big work, big place. Let's employ 50 people, right? Decorations off, street connection off, terrain alignment off. Don't worry about any of that. And instead of having a building like that, right, just click 0 like that. And making sure you've got fingers. And I'm not going to do it over here because I'll never be able to remove it, but make sure you've got fingers to the road and people will be able to walk. If you put a bus stop around here somewhere, boom, people will be able to walk to that point from your bus stop and it'll look like they're actually working in the factory, which is why I've put these guys right there. Okay, so people will actually be walking into the factory. I could have put it up here probably somewhere, but every industry on here has those, right? And let's come over and have a look at our oil field over here. Now this lot, I had to put a road through here, connecting all of these up, so that, where are they? There they are. There's our workers. Right. Okay, we have workers coming into each one of these, and over here in the coal mine, oh, back up, right. What does this mean? Well, see this little extra bit of track, remember on this map, the extra track is there or that one, either of those, player owned. This one is the does not exist in real life track, but I put a little passenger station, a little siding here for a passenger train perhaps to come through here, and you could bring workers by train to this area. Similarly here. Right, let's have a look at it. There. Okay. And then you've got to get them down somehow to that point. Maybe some of them would work. Walk. That's the word. Could walk there. Where's one on this side? Right there in the sunshine. Okay. I also want to come up to the... So all the coal mines have that treatment. All of the industries have that treatment. Let's have a little look. If you don't believe me, hopefully I'm able to find it. Right, hopefully you're able to find it. I can't see it. Okay, maybe not all of them did. Okay, well that's easy fixed. I just do. How many industry people are going to work here? 20. Yep, all right. Industry collision off, and we'll just. I think you've already got one there, and you buried it in the wall. Maybe I did, but can you hear that blowfly? Damned annoying thing. All right. I think I did bury it in the wall. I've certainly buried that one in the wall. Okay, what else have we got here? Do you have workers? If I missed that one, I probably didn't get this one. I can't see anything there, so we'll do 10 people. Yeah. It's going to be interesting when the game actually starts having workers in the game coming to the industry, but never mind. There we go. All right, I'll have to check the rest of those. In the meantime, I was heading up to the iron ore mine because I completely did a revamp of this particular area. Basically, I didn't have enough iron ore mines. I needed, how many are here now? Industry, iron ore mines, 13. I had more coal mines than iron ore, so I had to squeeze a couple more in this spot, which wasn't easy. But here we go. Here's a potential suggestion for a passenger platform, and here you can see, ta-da, each of, I think, I don't know, maybe I just did that particular one. Don't know. Maybe I just did a big number on that one there, and put 100 people or something, so that you could transport passengers up and to a little passenger station there. I don't know. Up to you. But right, what's been going on with this? Well, okay, I found some old historical maps of the area. Ooh, this is hence the delay. Right, okay, hence the delay. And in these 1890 to 1910 maps, I found this little branch line that came up to a steel mill here and other industries. So we've now got steel and brickworks on that little branch line, right? And I discovered we already had one going along the river like so, but I also discovered another one came up through along First Avenue or First Street or whatever it's called. So I've moved the food from here to there, added a sawmill, moved this guy over from there over into this space. And if we look at, because it's been running a little bit, you will see Beaver Falls Engineering, ta-da, and Beaver Falls Tools. Our little things are working beautifully at the moment. How many towns you got on there at the moment? Look, towns, not many, 4 I think. Yeah, right. A lot more to go. I've still got lots more to add. but it's getting there. These hysterical maps, let's have a look at them. Right, here we go, courtesy of the University of Pennsylvania Digital Archives. I found some Sanborn Paris Map Co. Maps that look at the fire risks in the areas. Right, so this is the big one for Beaver Falls, right? And on that one I can see that railway line coming through here, but I know that one goes along the river, right? And I can see this is the extra one that I added here for the brickworks and so on. Comes up like that, and all these numbers refer to other maps in detail maps. So let's have a look at number 14, which covers that and that area, those two areas there. Right, let's expand this guy and blow it up somewhat. The detail on these is incredible. So we've got 13th Street, 14th Street. Wait on, make it a bit wider. And go back a level. Okay, so this is map number 14. We've got the shovel works here, below 12th Street, and then the Western File Company between 13th and 12th. And then there's 13th, and then here we've got the American Axe and Tool Company, the Emerson Saw Works, and Cooperative Flint Glass Works. And you can see there's the line running along the river, and here's the one, the railway line's coming up to up along First Avenue. You've got turntable, engine shed or something, and some sidings, and these are fun. These are fun. I'm having great fun with these. I've got a whole heap of others. Let's have a little look at Ambridge. So Ambridge is down the other end of the map. Ambridge and Economy is the Old Economy Bottling Company. Let's blow this up a little bit so we can see it better. Okay, there's the Old Economy Distillery on Sewickie Creek. I don't no idea where Sewickie Creek is. I think it runs up here somewhere. But this is 1905. Again, it's looking at the Sanborn Map Company is looking at the fire risk, and there's fascinating stuff here on the types of buildings, what they're made out of, timber frame, brick, stone, iron, adobe, and specials. So it shows you where the fire stations were and all of that sort of stuff, and the current state of the railway line in 1905. So, sorry, that's why I've been delayed with this map. Bill, you'll just have to wait a little bit longer, buddy. I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry. I've been so fascinated by what's going on here. I've got another New Brighton. Yeah, New Brighton, Rochester, Beaver. Beaver. Let's have a look at Rochester. So, here we are in 1903, Rochester, right, comes down to the town of Freedom over here, right, got some population figures as well, 2,000, and of course, Monaca, not Monaca, Stephen, Monaca, yeah. As it were in 1903, you might remember from our map that there are a whole lot of streets up here on the hill. They are post 1903. So I'm going to build the town down here. This is why I haven't built some of these towns. I wanted to know where they were in relation to everything. So, yeah. Still working on it. Still working on it. Let's go back to the map. Let's go back to Monica. Where are you, darling? Ah, darling. Oh my God. Sorry. Yeah. All of this is new. So here's the original township here, and I think it was called Phillipsburg or something, but this is all new. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this as far as the map goes. But anyway, that's what we're doing. That's where we're up to. It's great fun. This is going to be one of the most interesting maps I've ever done. It's going to have river transport. It's going to have huge freight lines. Remember, there's no passenger service nowadays, but there was, and that's why these little things here exist, to show you. Right. And look at all that blue there, all that player-owned stuff. That's the rail network. Love it. Ooh, is that road? Yeah, that's road. That's a station. Right, okay. And you've got two different competing railway companies. I can't remember what they were now. But, and then we go off to the wild blue yonder, over to the Masabi Ranges to get the iron ore. Cool. Am I going to have a playthrough of this one? I don't know. I don't know. See what happens. So many people want me to go back to Newcastle. I'll get there eventually for Series 2. I mean, we're not even up to World War One over in Newcastle, but I suppose we should at least get BHP established and, you know, do a couple of war things. See what happens. But there we go. That's what's happening here with Beaver Falls. It's getting there. Slowly, my apologies, but it's starting to look absolutely freaking fantastic. Good fun. Good fun. Alright, that's it. Bye. Hooroo from me. Goodbye from these guys. Yeah. Getting there. Oh, am I creating a headache for those of you that want to rebuild Conway Yard? Probably. Okay. See you next time. Bye for now. Ciao.